two children of a king were not beheaded, not imprisoned, not executed. Instead, they were stripped of their future and quietly erased from history. This is the dark legend of the sons of King Clovis II. They were not ordinary children. They were heirs to the throne, blood of the Merovingian dynasty, one of the most mysterious and ruthless royal bloodlines in European history. In the 7th century, a royal court was never a safe place. It was a world of whispers, of plots, of fear. In a world like this, a king's son was never just a son. He was a living threat. An old legend remembers them as the Énervés of Jumièges. According to the story, the two princes were accused of rebelling against their own parents, but they were not publicly executed. Their punishment was quieter, more calculated. They were made no longer fit to rule, not in a public square, not by a blade, but through hidden acts designed to remove their future without taking their lives. According to the legend, they were then placed on a small boat, without oars, without direction, and released into the current of the River Seine. Not to die, but to disappear. And this is where the story becomes fragile. There are no contemporary royal records from the time of Clovis II that confirm this event. The story only appeared centuries later, written by monks, not court historians. Many modern historians believe this legend may have been exaggerated, or even created. And yet it endured, and legends do not survive without reason. Royal history shows a pattern that cannot be ignored. Heirs were not always killed in public. They were quietly removed, isolated, locked away in monasteries, erased from genealogies, not because they were dead, but because they were too dangerous to be seen. The story grows even darker with one name, Queen Bathilde. History remembers her as a holy woman. She freed slaves. She protected the vulnerable. She was later honored as a saint. And yet the legend ties her name to the fate of her own children, not because she was cruel, but because she lived inside a system where a mother's love could be forced to bow to a queen's fear. According to the legend, the drifting boat eventually reached the Abbey of Jumièges. The monks did not see traitors. They saw broken lives. The princes were cared for, hidden, protected, and years later, the royal family is said to have made generous donations to the abbey. There was no public reunion, no tears, only gold, only land, and perhaps something like guilt. Were they truly forgiven? In legend, yes, but in silence. In history, and there is no proof. Only absence. And silence is often more honest than confession. The Merovingian dynasty was not famous for love. It was known for consuming itself. Brothers against brothers, sons against fathers, blood against blood. The throne was not inherited. It was fought over. So were the two princes real? Maybe, or maybe they were only the shadow of a fearful age. But one thing is certain. In the history of kings, the cruelest punishments were not always executions. Sometimes, they were simply a life without a future.